Good evening, folks. Welcome back to the channel. We are doing another unboxing. I believe it's the third one in a week. This one came back earlier today, and we are going to definitely scale this one back in terms of time. I think we have a better system in place this time, so we're not going to spend a lot of time. I will just briefly on the introduction show you that we're going for this bad boy right here. 21 items, was sent out October 24th. You can see it was shipped on last Friday the 27th, came back today. FedEx delivered 21 items. There are 2 boxes in here. You can see by the shape and the size that there are 2 of them. So obviously 20 coins per box. Didn't know if they would send a whole box for one more. This one, again, like the last one with the pennies, that was very average. I think there's a couple of pretty nice coins in here, but there's a lot of, nice stuff, but not super expensive stuff. The next submission that will be coming back either later this week or the following week is a pretty big one. It's 36 items. It's in the QA stage, so that'll be back soon. The last one that's due is this 19 item one here that was sent out in November. And this one is, I think, all Indian head cents. There's an 1864 copper nickel that's about extremely fine. There's a couple 1908s, both about very good, close to fine. The rest are mint state, or at least that's what I have projected them to be. All of these should be MS 61 through 64, maybe even a 5. There's a variety in here. I believe it's this 1891. I submitted it as an FS 101 or whatever the Fever-Stanton number is on that one for a double die obverse, but we are getting ahead of ourselves. That won't be back for quite some time. We are working on this submission right here, this 21 item. There's a handful of Roosevelt dimes. I believe there's some nickels, a couple Buffalo Head nickels. There might be a Liberty nickel in there. I think there's a couple of decent Indian head pennies. And maybe, I don't remember what else, but we'll find out. So without any further ado, I will be right back after using my trusty knife to cut this bag open. See you shortly. All right, so we had a little bit of a struggle opening this one up. It was very securely packaged with the brown tape, the string tape, or whatever, the registered tape that they use typically. So we have the black and the silver box. The silver box is pretty much empty. We have a submission form, and I could see there was an invoice attached. Maybe it was just the submission form. All right. So again, not 100% sure what to expect here, other than it won't be the fireworks that we had the other night. So let's see if we can get to it. Let's see, we'll save that silver box for the end. So how's everybody out there doing? You guys having any cool stories yourself, or any cool coins in the last recent past that you want to share? Please leave comments. Any questions? Anything that you see that you have a question on, or you think that if you ever think I'm giving out bad information or misinformation, please comment. Constructive criticism is always welcome. Interested in hearing your experiences, your stories, your cool coin Noops, as we call it in the hobby. Noops for new purchases. You know, they say the difference between noops and a fresh, when dealers talk about anything fresh versus a noop. A fresh would be something that hasn't come to market in generations, whereas a noop would just be a new purchase, so to speak, new to you, as local car dealer Ernie Bach likes to say. New to you, meaning you're about to get screwed as you buy a used car. All right, I digress. Here's the 20 coin submission. We can see the back coin is not genuine, but we'll get that one when we get to that. Actually, what we got, that is a penny. All right. And in the front, we have a V nickel. All right, so I guess we'll start with the front. And we're going to try this new setup to see if, yeah, we got a high-tech white paper towel. And we're going to see if we can get some better quality imaging going on here. I've got brighter lights up in the ceiling. I've got a white light to the left of the coin. And of course, I'm still running this off an iPhone. So that needs to be improved. Let me get my coin coverer, if you will. I guess this will have to do for tonight. Fold it in half. All right. So this one has cents. So this is going to tell me that this is an 1883 nickel, I believe. Unless this is unless this is something else. I think I have an 1885 nickel, which is a key date. I don't know if it's in this submission or not. But this one, I want to say, is probably 1883. They came without cents and they came with cents. And the first year of mintage was 1883. That was the first year of the nickel. It replaced the half dime. And the Liberty V nickel was actually followed the Shield nickel, my bad. So the Shield nickel ran from 1866 till 1883. And the first V nickel was the no cents variety. And that was replaced relatively early on in the year with the cents with cents variety, the word cents at the bottom. And the reason they did that was the $5 gold pieces, $5 half eagles at the time, had a very similar look. They had the V in the middle, the United States of America, the motto, E pluribus unum, etc. And people were dipping the Liberty nickels in gold paint, basically, or gold plate, and passing them off as solid gold quarter eagles. So the U.S. Mint quickly remedied that situation by adding the word cents at the bottom. So the no cents variety are worth quite a bit more because they're quite a bit scarcer. So let's see. Just to back that up. Let me see here. So the no cents variety versus the cents variety, just to make sure I'm not giving bad info again here. With cents. Did I say it backwards? Yeah, the with cents variety is worth more. Okay. So the no cents variety is, just checking coin facts here, 1 second. 1883 no cents for a VF20 is not worth much, $16, but the 1883 with cents in VF20 is, and this is just PCGS price guide, obviously, your mileage may vary, $70. So it's about 5 times more expensive, 5 times rarer. So the width sense is the rarer of the two. So sorry for that. It's late and I wasn't prepared. I'm not running off a script. So this coin, I would say, is, you know, it's got that nice VF look. Not enough there for XF, no luster, but a lot of great detail. Nice color, nice natural color. Obviously, it's not genuine. Let's flip it over and have a look at the obverse. Yeah, 1883. So the weakness on the date, we do have a full Liberty. We don't have a whole lot of hair detail. The stars, some of them have three-dimensionality, if you will, or the separation. Some of them are flat. A coin like this is, you know, full Liberty, some hair, solid rim. You know, it's probably, I've never sent one of these in for grading, so this is the first time. I'm going to say, you know, without having really any experience, I would probably call this a fine 15. But again, I don't know enough about these. It could be, this could be a very good 10 for all I know, but I think it's better than that. I think it's a fine 15, maybe even a VF 20. So that is what I am predicting. And it's a VF 25, so it's that's excellent. That is an excellent grade for this coin. And in VF 25, we show it limited population, $75. So no recent auction archives to back that up, but you know, safe to say it'll probably sell for 50, 60 bucks. People like them certified. I think if the date had a little more strength to it, if there was a little more hair detail and there were more stars, you'd get a VF 30, which is where the choice very fine grades start. So very happy with that. It's a good start. Let's see if we can keep that going. We're going to have some more nickels. Here we have a Buffalo nickel. And if you're not familiar with Buffalo, the mint mark is down here below the 5 cents. That's a D for Denver. D as in David. And you know, another one that's, I'm looking at the rim has, it's solid, it's full, but it's got a tad bit of weakness down by the S in cents down here at 5 o'clock. It's not entire, I mean, it's full, but it's weak. So immediately I'm thinking this is probably a very good, but I'd have to see more on the obverse, and I don't even know what, okay, 17D. It's probably a low value coin, but it's cool, and it's a change of pace, and yeah, we're getting some better camera action. So you see we've got weakness on the rim up at Liberty. You know, I don't think I've ever graded any nickels besides the one we just saw. I'm gonna guess this one might be a good 6 to very good 8. It's got a full date, a little bit of weakness, not a whole lot of other detail. 17D is probably a better date, or I wouldn't have sent it in. I don't know if it was worthy of grading per se, but I'm just accessing coin facts for the 17D price guide here. And just before we reveal the grade, 17D in mint states is $900 plus coin. In good 6, it's 30, and very good 8, it's a $40 coin. So I would say it's probably a good 6 is going to be my guess. So let's take a look here. Dun, 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 dun. 17D. Oh, we got the very good 8. So that's cool. It was right on the line. We'll take it. You know, it's more saleable in the holder. There's 42 of them graded. The last one that I see sold was David Lawrence in December of 2019, where he realized $30. So cool coin. All right, next up we have another non-genuine and a better quality Buffalo nickel from the Philadelphia Mint. No mint mark. We see this coin does have some luster, so that's good. We see some luster on this coin. We see decent detail. I don't quite think it's mint state. I think it's AU. I think it's a high AU, 55, 58. Maybe mint state, I don't know. I don't really see any wear. We're looking for breaks in the luster. We're looking for wear. We're looking for high point wear. High point wear would be up at the top of the shoulder, the horn, the highest points of the coin, obviously. So, let's see what we got here. We have a 1930D. Got almost a proof-like quality to it, but you know, I'm going to say it's an AU 58. I don't think it's mint state. I think it just misses. But I'm extremely limited on my experience with these coins. I've never really, I mean, they're beautiful. I've just never really gotten into them. Came across a large couple of collections in the last 6 months and sold a lot of them raw, but pulled a few out that I thought would be cool to send in, and this is one of them. So for you Buffalo nickel enthusiasts and people who collect these coins as a wide angle view, maybe that'll help a little more. What do you think? Mint state, AU, something different? I'm going to say AU 58. All right, let's take a look. Hey, AU 58. All right, so that comes with experience. I used to collect high-grade barber quarters and barber halves. It's really hard to put your finger on the difference between, you know, a 63 or a 58. We used to call it a gem AU or a, you know, AU 63. There was different jokes that, you know, that people would rather have an AU 58 than an MS 61 or even 62, especially when it came to the barber series. A 58 is basically, you know, a 63, 64 with a touch of wear. Like, it's hard to get a 58 grade on a coin and have it have below average eye appeal. Like, you don't see very many AU 58s without strong eye appeal. It's kind of hard to explain, but for some of you out there, maybe you know what I'm talking about. So I'm just curious. So like a 63, this coin lists at about $100, whereas a 58, you know, it's only $45. But there are people that collect the Everyman registry sets, and David Lawrence sold one back in the March of 21 for $38. So, you know, I probably sent it in because I didn't know, thinking maybe it's a 62 or a 63 where it goes up in value. You know, but like I said, looking at it, I'm not surprised it's a 58, and that's pretty much what I predicted. It just doesn't, I don't think it's entirely there to be fully mint state. So, good to see I sort of know what I'm talking about sometimes. Maybe I just get lucky. All right, another Philadelphia issue Buffalo nickel, and another one that has a very similar look. So right off the rip, I would say this is another 58, but I need to see the obverse first. This is got wonderful color, in my humble opinion. Nice natural color. Subtle tone. It looks like it hasn't been messed with. This one has closer to full mint luster, but I still think it's closer to a 58. Trying not to reveal that barcode. I hope I didn't. I didn't see it. I hope you didn't, but if you did, I apologize. All right, so we have a 1934 Philadelphia. And some crud above his head there and to the left of Liberty. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to have to say it's another 58. I don't believe it's mint state. Some high point rub, I think. Hard to tell for sure, but I'm going to have to settle in on a 58 grade. All right, let's see if can we go 2 for 2 on the Buffaloes. Look at that, huh? Another AU 58. They just have this sort of a look to them. So the AU 58 is probably even less valuable than an AU 58 because it's so much closer to the end of the series. 1934. 1934. AU58, $55, so it's actually worth a little bit more. So that's a little bit on the surprising side. Again, they probably won't realize that, but it's good to know. All right, we're doing well with these. We got one more, at least one more, another Philadelphia issue. Another Buffalo nickel with lovely color. You see the that effect. I don't even know what you want to call it. I was going to say wood grain, but wood grain applies more to pennies. Oh, look, we got the cat saying hello. Go say hi to Mama. Go say hi to Mama. Tiger wants to join in on the fun. Tiger. He's a good kitty, but we can't have him spilling the coins or the coffee everywhere. So I think we have another similar look to the last coin here. I was going to say the wood grain effect applies more to copper and pennies, but sort of have that going here. And of course, nickels are copper nickel, so there's a lot of copper in pennies. So I'm not surprised you see that toning pattern. And every time I put the knife there, it tricks the camera into thinking that's where it wants to focus. So we'll see what we got on the obverse. Again, I'm trying not to show that silly barcode. I'm not using the best protector. This one, you know, it looks just like the last two to me. I don't see it being mint state. I see it being close. I would have to say it's another AU58. It's got the 58 look about it. It's about the only way I can describe it. So maybe I'm wrong, we'll see. Yeah, 3 in a row. So we have 1930, 34, 35, and the 35, AU58. There is a double die reverse on the 35. This one is not one of those. And the AU58 checks in at a whopping $25. Alrighty then, let's see. 35, yep. Next up, another Buffalo nickel. This one has the potential to be mint state because you see how the luster flows? The luster flows over the buffalo shoulder without breaking. Now this one right away I'm thinking is mint state. There's just a more full luster. Yeah. This one looks mint state to me. Could be wrong. That's my inclination. Do you see the difference? I don't quite know how to put it into words, but there is a difference, right? Let's check the obverse out. Be careful not to show that barcode. Yeah, there's a difference, right? 1937, super common. There's a couple of hits on his cheek, I suppose. Not really sure how they grade these because like I said, I've never really sent them in. You know, I think it's choice. I think it's at least a 63, but I just don't know how tough they are on them. I would have to say it's a 63, possible 64. So, because I really have no experience with them and I just don't know what to expect, we're going to go with 63. What do you think? All right, next time I try to minimize the camera, do it on the phone, not on the coin. 63 is my guess. 64 is my guess. The luster is really good. We're going to go to 64. And there it is. Yeah, I should quit my day job. I'm kidding. All right, 1937 MS64. I'm sure it's extremely common. Let's see. 1937. Mint state 64. Yeah, $60. No, that's a plus. 50 bucks, 1,400 of them. So common, but still nice coin. Not worth the grading probably, but it was fun. That's what we did it for. We did it for a lesson. We did it for enjoyment. We did it for entertainment. Oh, genuine, not gradable. We were due for that. We haven't seen one of those in quite some time. So again, my lack of experience in this particular field. This is done, again, as a learning experience. Let's see, why would this not be gradable? If it's cleaned, I'm not, there's some rim bruises up here. But I've sent coins in with much worse rim bruises and had them grade. Environmental damage or cleaning, I don't see it here. But again, I am not super experienced in grading these, so it could be cleaned and I would never necessarily know it. So let's take a look at the obverse and see if we spot anything. And what do you think? If you see something on here as to why this wouldn't grade, please chime in so I don't make that mistake again. Is it environmental damage? Is it crud? Is there residue on the coin? Usually they don't holder them if there's like PVC residue. I'm going to say that, I mean, I don't see any other reason other than it's got to be cleaned unless the rim damage is severe enough, but I guess we'll go with very fine detail cleaned. Yeah, that's what they say. I don't know where the cleaning is, but maybe it's just, you know, you don't need hairlines to be cleaned. It could be the color isn't quite right. You know, improper dip, whatever you want to call it. You know, I think I did use some blue ribbon on this before I sent it in, but, you know, that is, you know, basically like a curation, if you will. It's not harsh cleaning. Anyway, that's our first genuine in quite some time. I'm sure we'll see a couple more. Well, we did get a large cent that is not genuine. I have to say this one does not have a very different look. But they are looking under different lighting. They are looking under different conditions, and they look at thousands of these. Certainly, I'm not going to say I take their word as gospel, but I do take their opinion, and I basically try to learn from it rather than whine about it or complain, because I do think they, you know, for every one piece of knowledge I have, they have a 10,000 in my opinion. So you can see there's crud in between the devices, which, you know, accumulates over time. Copper is one of the most reactive metals there is. And these coins tend to tone the most just because they're so reactive, and they collect all this crud builds up in the denticles and in the devices over time. You get verdigris. They tend to corrode easily, unfortunately. Copper, again, so reactive. The green disease of verdigris, this one. Yeah, there's a more chocolate brown color to this one. There's probably a more natural patina to this one. You know, I'm leaning towards a VF30 because I see luster in the devices. I see, you know, a handful, half the stars or so have some definition, but a lot of them are flat as a pancake. Maybe it's a VF20. I'm overgrading it. You know, the full hair and the Liberty means nothing because it's so giant. Yeah, it's kind of flat. I'm going to go back on that and say VF20. And the wreath doesn't have, you know, the leaf detail you want for a VF30, in my opinion. But again, very limited experience in this particular series, or, you know, large sense. Copper in general, really all copper. So, all right, VF20. Maybe it's a fine 12. I don't know. VF20 in my estimation. How about XF40? That was closer with the VF30. That's interesting. I mean, like I said, it did have some luster. I couldn't have been further off. I'm curious to see what an XF40 1848 large cent checks in at in Coinfax. So here we have a braided hair. No, sorry. Yeah, braided hair, large cent. We have 1848. 1848. Let's get it up on the screen here. 1848 up the top. Braided hair, large cent. The design, Christian Gobrecht designed these beautiful coins. It's just under 6.5 million minted at the Philadelphia Mint. If we go to the value view, we will see an XF40 checks in at $120. And interestingly, David Lawrence, who tends to command premiums, received $120 for his April 2022 auction. And the Heritage auction of July of 21 realized $252. My guess is that's probably a variety or something going on with that coin that, warranted, just like that January 2014 and Heritage where they sold for over 1,000 and over 1,500 on the NGC XF40. Something was going on with those coins. They had to be varieties, over dates or something along those lines. Does the 1848 have a variety? There's a 47 over 47. There's a small date Breen, 1901 Fantasy, whatever that is. I don't know what that is. Maybe that was before that was discovered. And it was an early discovery piece. I don't know. I'm reaching and guessing at this point, but I'm very happy with that grade. I was not expecting any of the large cents to grade XF. I will tell you that. And here's another large cent that is not genuine. So to only get one genuine so far is kind of a home run. Here we have another deep brown, deep chocolate brown. And the early American Copper Collectors Club probably would grade that very fine 20, by the way. They have the strictest grading standards of all. And, commercial grading, if you will, of XF40 would be cut in half with the early American Coppers Club. If anybody out there watching this video as a member, give it a thumbs up and let me know that tell me if I'm right, or let me know that I was way off. This one here has a little more wear than the last one. You can see where the, denticles, I guess. Those aren't really true denticles, but maybe they are. Anyway, there's a lot of wear there. Flat. You don't see the luster that we saw on the last one. But I want to say it's got the natural color again, like the last one. And nice chocolate brown. This is an 1852. A little more wear, a little flatter. Date's a little bit worn. This one's probably the VF20, based on the last one being XF40. I don't know, this one might be a fine, but I'll say VF20 just based on the VF detail and the last one being an XF40. And let's see, VF30. I got a lot to learn on these coins. I am not complaining. So VF30, that's so interesting. Let's see what we got. 1852. 1852 in a VF30. Braided hair. Cent. And in VF30, we are looking at $60. All right. Almost covers the grading cost. For me to send a coin in to have it be worth it, I think, it has to be at least worth $100. But again, this was done for pure entertainment, and we have at least one last large cent, and it's another non-genuine. So 3 out of 4 on these copper pieces that are often tough to grade without problems. A problem-free grade in these in and of itself is a pretty good accomplishment. This one, trace luster, if you will. Not luster, but almost. So it tells me this is possibly a VF35. Let's see what the obverse looks like. If we have luster on the obverse, we could have XF. But we definitely shouldn't. Let's see. Yeah, no, too much wear. Last one was a 30. This one probably very similar, probably a 30. All right, let's try to speed it up. We're already over a half hour, so let's we'll say it's a VF30. 35, I was close on the first time here. The reverse is like that 35 look, where it's just missing XF. That's a nice grade. 1854 VF35. 1854 VF35. 1854. 1854 VF35. Let's see what we got. Wow, it's a few $100 in 63. 35 at 70 bucks. That's not too bad. All right, let's see. I think that should wrap up the large sense. What's next? Genuine, not gradable. That's depressing. This is the one I was hoping. I believe this is the one I was hoping for. If this is the 1868, this is going to be very depressing. Let's see what we got here. Is this the 1868 or the 1870? I think there's an 1870 and an 1868. There's a lot of detail on that wreath. I want to say this is probably the 68. I didn't see either of these coming back as genuine, but it must be cleaned. Let's see. Either one of them would be a bit depressing, but yeah, it's a 68. That's too bad. You can see it's XF detail all day. Maybe AU. And that's what I was hoping for, was an XF 45 on this coin, but interesting. I'm gonna guess it probably got dinged for being cleaned. I don't see anything else that would have held it back. Don't see any hairlines, but again, must be the color is slightly off. Wonderful coin. It's got to be, I don't know, I saw the code of 97. I think that's like questionable color or something like that. Environmental damage AU detail. That's interesting. Environmental damage AU detail. Environmental damage. I'll have to take a closer look and see where they're seeing the environmental damage. That spot between the R and the I in America, I mean, that's, you know, it's, I don't know what that is, but there could be something that's prohibiting them from straight grading it, but that's too bad, because an AU 1868 is a big coin, an excellent coin to get in an AU holder. Let's take a look and see what that could have been. Let's go back to the Indian cents and 1868. 1868 brown. Yeah, even in AU 50, it's 260. 275 and 53. I mean, it's probably a 55 without the cleaning. So, yeah, that's unfortunate. It's still going to be worth over, I would say, at least $100 or more, because it's just a beautiful coin with a lot of detail. But We'll take a closer look off camera and try to find out if you see anything that stands out as to what the environmental damage could be. Please chime in. Move right along to the next one. Can we get another genuine? Okay, well, at least our 1870 graded. I believe that's what this is. Another semi-key date. No, this one's in a significantly lower grade. I believe this is the 1870. I guess we'll confirm that shortly, but we're not genuine, and it's got a nice natural color. And let's see what we got on the obverse. Yeah, 1870. Not sure if we have a full Liberty. I don't remember. It's been a while. And I think it's like, 5.5 letters. There we go. L, I, a lot of B is worn. E, half of E, R, T, Y. I think we're missing the B. Probably like a very good 10 is what I thought this was when I sent it in, if I remember correctly. So it does have nice headdress in the feathers, nice detail in the headdress and the feathers. Those lines. And, a very solid rim, solid design all the way around. Details are in good shape. Shield. Most of the lines. It's got weakness in the top right corner, weakness on the N in 1 and N in cent is typical for the 1870s Indians. In fact, it's how you authenticate the 1877 key date, is that weakness on the N. Or one way to help authenticate. It's not the only way to authenticate it. I'm going to say it's a very good 10, and that's where I'm standing. Oh, they gave us fine 12, so that's great. That's a great result. We won't complain. Let's take a look and see the difference between fine 12 and very good 10 in terms of money, because very good to fine is always a helpful, not a big leap, but the difference between fine and very good is just it's $50 in this case, $150 in a VG10 and $200 in a fine 12. So that's a good result. I'm kind of surprised it made it to fine. I mean, it's another one of those situations where you can't get caught up on one attribute. In other words, you can't say, oh, does it have a full Liberty? It doesn't have a full Liberty. And we're looking at it under the not ideal lighting. When I get a loop and look at it closer, it probably does have at least a piece of all 7 letters. You have to look at the coin as a whole. The rest of the detail is strong. It is fine detail, if you will, versus very good detail. And I'm pretty sure that most of the Liberties there probably wouldn't have graded a fine 12. All right, moving right along to the next coin. Well, there's another Indian cent. I wasn't aware that I had a third one. Not sure what this one is. I don't remember sending in 3 of them. Okay, nice color. That one does have the full shield. We have full lines, top right corner, pretty much all the way across. So this one is bordering on XF maybe, but I don't know what I would have sent in, unless it's something from the 80s that looked nice. Yeah, 86. I guess I just threw it in. Not a high value coin. I probably just wanted to mess around and see if I could get an AU grade out of it, but yeah, this lighting is not ideal for the darker copper. It was better for the silver. I'm going to say it's an XF 45, maybe AU 50. Hard to say whether the detail is there for, or the luster is there rather for an AU grade. So I'm going to say 45. I'm going to say 45. 40, variety 1. Okay, XF40, so there's not even enough luster for a 45. And 1886 variety 1, so yeah, that's why I sent it in. That's the one that has the feather between the I and C of America versus between C and A of America. So that's where the last feather in the headdress points to the IC versus pointing to the CA. And I do believe the variety 2 is less common. Variety 2, the one that has the feather from C to A. So variety 1 in XF40, let's take a look, 1886, look at that beautiful brown mint state Indian. We'll get the mint state Indians back in another month or two, hopefully, maybe a little bit less. So the Indian 86, variety 1 and XF40, yeah, 150. I didn't realize it was that valuable. So that's why I sent it in. Now it makes sense. All right. Excellent. Excellent. I didn't realize how rare the 86 was. Now it makes sense why I sent it in. Yeah, excellent grade. All right. Moving right along, we're up to the wheat cents. So some of these were sent in on the premise of high grade, but you know, we're seeing some carbon right away, which is probably going to limit what this coin will grade, because hard to get a high grade with that splotchy look to it. You know, I'm convinced that they do some sort of high-speed air cleaning with air, or you know, because they seem to have a slightly different look when they're done with them. Cleaning is a bad word in coins. That's, you know, not what I mean, but I think they do something to the coins when they prepare them. 1957 is one of those coins that's super hard to find above MS66, and this one's not going to get there. But I sent it in at the time before it didn't quite look like this. Don't know how it altered its appearance from here to California and back, but definitely don't remember it looking like this. And you know, when you zoom out, you can see it's got that nice red, nice full luster, hardly any contact marks, but doesn't have that gemmy look. I think this thing maxes out at 65 if it even gets that high. 66 red, so proven wrong again. All right, I guess those carbon spots do not affect it as badly as I thought. I still don't think it's a super valuable coin, even in 66 red. Let's take a look. I say it's probably like 20 bucks maybe. Let's go to type 1 reverse, 1957p. Mint state 57 red, and in 66, how about $140? Wow. I was hoping for it to be 66 or better, because you can see 65, that's where it's low. So we did get to 66, and that I needed it to be 66 or better, so for once I got it right, and obviously 67 is the home run. But wow, I'm kind of elated with that one. This is, you know, I have rolls and rolls of these, and I definitely cherry-picked. And, you know, when I looked at it at first, I wasn't really thrilled. But, you know, the lighting in here can fool you, and under a different set of lighting conditions, under a loop or without a loop even, it might look different. So that's huge. That was huge. This might be the submission with the 1969D. This might be it, as a matter of fact. I'm not 100% sure, but there was a 69D that I was really loving, thinking that it was a solid 67. You know, and it sounds ridiculous to say it's a solid 67. How about it's a shot 67? I don't see a single mark on this reverse. I mean, if you see the mark somewhere, please Leave it in the comments. I know we're 47 minutes in. We're almost done. I don't know if this is the 69D or not, but we're going to check out the values. This is a 66. This isn't even the one, but this one is... This was... I don't know how this isn't a 67, but maybe it's probably not, right? I mean, it can't be, right? There's some chatter right now that I'm saying. As soon as I said it, some chatter right there. Yeah, that's gonna prevent any shot of 67. So we're gonna top out at 66, but I don't see how it could be anything worse than 66. So yeah, we'll say 66. There it is. Without that chatter, I think we have ourselves a 7. That's the only disappointment. So an MS66 red is, this is not a wheat cent, so we need to change the, let's go back to the memorials. And Lincoln Memorial, 1966. And red. And it's a $46 coin, so it's not a slouch for a memorial. It's only 967 though. 110 with a 66 plus. Would have been nice to see a plus. I don't get many pluses. I think 2 in the last 500 coins, maybe less. All right, we're going to be coming up to that 69D, I do believe, soon. And I want to show you something before we get to it. I'm not sure which coin this is. I don't think this is it. But if we go to the 69D, it's similar to that, what we just saw with the price jump. 69D is one of those coins you'd never expect it to be so valuable in a high grade. A whopping $18.65. Goes up a whole $4.65 plus. Goes up to a whole $35.66. 66 plus, it goes to 75. Then we get the jump to $325 and 67 and $8,000 and 67 plus. So, you know, I was thinking the 67 was, I don't want to say a lock. The 69D was a lock 67, but we'll see it when we get there. This is not it, I don't believe, or if it is, I was definitely mistaken. I think this is another 1966. Beautiful. Couple very, very minor marks above the E and C in 1 cent. And on the obverse, another 1966. There's a little bit of a mark in front above the date there. You're allowed a mark. You're allowed one, you know, somewhat visible mark to get a 67 grade. I mean, this has to be another 66, I would hope. What's it take to get a 67 out of these people? It's close, but they just don't pass that grade out. And I'm the wrong person. If it was sent in by someone else, probably, but I just don't think, I know that sounds ridiculous, but I still think that has some influence on those uber grades. Yeah, I just don't see it getting any better than that. So, you know, prove me wrong, I'd love to see it. All right, so the MS66 in 1966 remains a $46 coin. And we have maybe one more 1966, I'm not sure. Or is this the 6090? These are some beauties, man. again, above the E in 1 for 1 cent. Not much else going on back there, though. Oh, this is the 69D, or one of them. I might have sent 2 of these in. This one has a couple of marks. I might have sent 2 of these in. I don't remember. But, you know, this one isn't as perfect as those 1966s. There's some chatter to the left of N. So maybe there's one more 69D, because this one is not going to grade 67. It's close, whether it even gets 66. It might just be 65. Beautiful coin. I don't think this is the one I had eyes on as being a possible 67, but it's still a beautiful coin. I'll say it's a 65. 66 red, yeah. Yeah. It's gorgeous. Just worth so much more than 67. So the 69D again, and 66, I think it's not really worth very much. Let me see again, I forget. 66, $35 coin. All right, we're going back to wheat cents this time. And we have some marks below America. Not sure why this one, maybe this one got sent in an error. Not genuine, just making sure. I don't remember what this is, but it's not going to grade super high, that's for sure. $54S. Could still grade 65. Don't see it going any higher though. I'll say 65. Red, obviously. I'm surprised we got the 66. I mean, that's a pretty big disparity for them to all be 66 and for me to have that much chatter. And it almost feels like they rushed through it. Let's see what the 54S and 66 red commands. Wheat cent. 1954S. Red. 27 whole dollars. Yeah, so it goes up to 160 and 67. All right. We got just 3 coins left. We got another wheat cent, probably another 54S. We've got a little stain on the T in 1 cent. I don't remember that being there at all. Surprised they didn't genuine it for having a stain. I don't remember that being there at all. Chatter there under the trust, above the date, couple of marks above the, well, that's a toning spot above Liberty, I believe. Probably another 66 red based on the way everything else is going. Yep. All right, and then there were 2. Another 54S probably. There's a mark to the right of E in 1, and another smaller mark or a series of marks below it. Almost revealed the grade. I think at this point it doesn't matter that much. Not hard to figure out where these are all headed. Same thing, chatter above the date, This might limit it to 65. Every time I say that, it proves me to be wrong. But I mean, it's too bad that you can have all that chatter and still be 66. Those other ones just, I don't know, man. Yeah, I don't think we should be able to get all that chatter and still get that grade. Alright, doesn't matter what I think. I thought there were dimes in this submission, but apparently that's not the case. So the last coin in the silver box, which I forgot to cut the tape. See what's in here. Can't remember. One last wheat cent. That's very clean. You got the big gash under the P in pluribus, okay. That will prevent any type of possibility of anything better than a 6. I don't think it'll even, every time I think it's going to be limited to a 5, it turns out to be a 6. So let's see what the obverse looks like. Very similar look to the others except for that mark. Probably another 66 red because it's only got that one significant mark, and the rest of the coin is pretty darn clean. All right, well, the pennies all came back 66 red. We thought we had a shot 67. We didn't, but overall, we can't really complain. We got 2 genuines this time. One was unfortunately on the 1868 Indian. That's unfortunate, but you can't win them all. So we don't have the true views yet. They are not ready yet, being imaged as it says. So we'll share those when we get them. If you have any comments to leave, they'd be appreciated. Like, comment, subscribe. Sorry for the length of these videos. It's hard to do them any shorter and still be able to provide the level of detail that I've heard from several people say that they appreciate and like. So let me know if you think these are too long, or if you appreciate the detail, or if you'd like me to try to scale them back. I would like to personally scale them back, but I'll do what the majority is in favor of. So please comment, like, subscribe, tell me your own experiences. Your feedback is greatly appreciated. Everybody have a great night. Thank you for watching.